I want to talk about something that has radically changed my life, and that is having a growth mindset. Now, as someone who was scared of failure and ended up even failing, I couldn't move past my failures for a period of time. If you want to know more about that, I talk about that in my video transitioning from entrepreneurship to solopreneurship. What happened was I was running a creative agency where at a point I had a dozen people under my leadership, and I lost it all, just at the beginning of the pandemic. And that made me really run into the darkest parts of my life that I'll never want to ever be in again. But coming out of that darkness, one of the things I adopted was a growth mindset. What's happened with my failures is I had adopted and was living in a fixed mindset. A fixed mindset is the idea that an individual cannot go beyond their present state of failure or their present state of challenges or obstacles. But a growth mindset is the idea that a person can improve and develop their condition regardless of their failures, regardless of their obstacles, regardless of their challenges. A person with a growth mindset is someone that embraces failure, embraces challenges, embraces obstacles, and sees these things as the path to success, and sees these things as the path to making and building a better life. Now, how do you adopt a growth mindset? Before that, one of the things I notice people deal with is fear. People are afraid of starting. People are afraid of taking action. People are afraid of hearing what others will say about them. But honestly, often these conversations are just things that are going on in our head. To be honest, people are not thinking of you as much as you are thinking of you. Even if people are thinking of you as you think, why don't you just do what you're supposed to do? Either ways, on this channel I support self-actualization, becoming the best version of yourself. So one of the enemies of the mind you need to kill at the beginning is fear. Deal with fear. Do not pity it, do not empathize with it. Get it out of your life immediately. And fear also births worry and anxiety, and these things should be cast far from your mindset, should be cast far from you, because one of the things about God, what God has blessed us with in our imagination, is the ability to draw and build and conjure worlds in our minds. And what anxiety and worry does is it heightens our fears, and we tend to build futures, worlds that aren't yet even in the physical, but we've built it up to a point that we start to believe it. So you need to deal with fear, you need to deal with anxiety, you need to deal with worry, you need to deal with the idea of what people are saying concerning you. Honestly, those things do not matter. What matters is you becoming the best version of yourself, and you need to adopt the proper mindset, which is a growth mindset, to get there. One last thing you need to deal with is overthinking. Woo! Many of you would think for 10 people. You need to think for yourself alone, honestly. So kill fear, kill anxiety, kill worry, kill overthinking. And one of the ways you can do that by shifting from or transitioning from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset is by reframing your mind. That is by asking certain questions. Then you'll start to see your failures, obstacles, and challenges in a more positive light, because these things, you should see them not as your identity, but as an event. Failure, which is one of the best things someone told me when I was in the pits, in darkness, right? My friend, one of our best friends, told me that, Jesse, don't see failure as an identity, see it as an event. And that radically changed my life, and I started to adopt the growth mindset. A growth mindset is when a person adopts a belief that they can improve their condition, improve their lives by embracing failure, by embracing obstacle. For them, the obstacle is the way, and that is what I see. So I constantly am reframing my mindset, and I'm constantly asking myself how I can better myself, because I have a personal moonshot. If you've not heard me talk about that. It's in the previous video on the Launch Yourself series. Go and watch Ambitions, Becoming a Better Version of Yourself. I'll link it. You should be thinking about how I can improve myself, right? You should be taking so much action that all your failures are lessons that improves you and the people around you, to be honest. So a fixed mindset doesn't belong in your life. What you need is a growth mindset, something that is pushing you towards your desired future, something that is pushing you to self-actualization, something that is pushing you to building a successful and profitable one-person business. And, for me, again, that's my story. As an entrepreneur, I was really afraid of transitioning into starting a solopreneurship or building a one-person business because I was used to delegating and giving people tasks to do. But now I've had to learn everything from building a website to, learning how to make videos, learning how to do graphic design, learning how to do social media myself. I'm doing all this by myself. And honestly, there's freedom in it because there are so many tools that are helping people these days, from ChatGPT to Canva to YouTube to the free video editor CapCut. There are so many free tools that anybody anywhere can use. Rather than me just stay in a fixed state saying I no longer am able to hire an editor or a graphic designer or social media manager, I asked myself, how can I achieve my goals, my ambitions? And I started to discover platforms and I educated myself. I improved myself on how to use these tools and these platforms to achieve my desired outcome or my desired future. So it's the same thing for you. Adopt a growth mindset and then you start to see major improvements in your life. So like I said, one of the ways to shift from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset is one of the things I did is through mindset reframing, where I asked questions about what I believed about a particular thing. So I asked questions about if what I believed is true, if it was helpful, or if there were consequences to holding that belief. So an example will be, I'm building a one-person business. So I told myself that I'm not initially, as someone who was adopting a fixed mindset, I was telling myself that there's no way I can build a successful one-person business. So when I started to reframe my mindset, I asked myself, is this true? Is it impossible to build a successful one-person business? So I got that out of the question because it is possible to build a successful one-person business. So I asked myself, is it helpful? Is this fixed belief or this limiting belief helpful? Nope, it's not helpful. So I'm doing away with it. Then I asked myself, what are the consequences to holding this belief? The consequences are I'm not able to financially provide for myself and my family. So I need to get rid of this. So I also asked myself, what is my biggest fear? What is holding me back? And I started to say, I don't have this skill. I don't have this skill. I don't know this. So what will it take to reach, or what will it take to adopt this skill or learn a new skill? You learn a new skill. You educate yourself about what you want to be or what you want to become or what you're trying to achieve. That's how I started to reframe it. So for me, the obstacle now became the way. So it's the same thing for you. Ask yourself, this thing I really believe that I cannot sing, I cannot play sports, I cannot change my diet, I cannot work on my weight, whatever it is you're trying to achieve. Ask yourself, is this true? Is this helpful? And what are the consequences? So you see that you start to shift from a fixed mindset or a limited mindset into having a growth mindset where you are improving yourself regardless of failures, obstacles, and challenges. So again, lastly, honestly, mindset is everything. Don't waste any time. Use this video as a sign. See it as a sign that you should do everything in your power to adopt a growth mindset and not a fixed mindset. This series is about helping people launch themselves to go from ambitious people who are self-actualizing to one of the expressions of self-actualization, which is building a profitable one-person business. So I intend to teach anyone, anywhere to make a living online. But first, they need to have ambitions, self-actualization, and then to express that self-actualization in the form of building a successful one-person business that helps other people solve their problems. So thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe and watch this next video.